streaming. All changes are saved. Here we go. So hello guys, I hope everyone is doing well. Wow, oh my god, this took me forever. This took me forever to find out how to do this. This drove me crazy, right? This drove me crazy. I was trying to do this for a long period of time, to be honest, and I've done it. I've finished. Oh my god, I've tried this about 3 to 4 times. So basically, this is my first streaming video, and I've tried to go live earlier, but I couldn't, and I'm doing it now. Hopefully, you guys can hear me very well and can see me as well. Trying to set this up in order to see myself, to see the comments, to see the videos, to see what people are posting and whatnot. Oh my god, so before this I've tried to do something quite different. So I was logging into YouTube and I was trying to find out how to start the live streaming. I didn't know how to do it. I was puzzled at first, but now I think it's working and it's good. For those who want to tell me if they can hear me properly, I can see that there are probably about 2 people watching. You can type if you can hear me properly. If you can't hear me properly, you can also tell me as well. I'm ready to change that for you if you want me to. Apart from that, I hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to my live video. Today I'll be talking about 2 different topics. One of those topics is going to be language acquisition, as you can see on the title of the video, and the other topic is going to be secrets of English language. I've been talking to this friend of mine. Oh wow, here we go. Hussein just said, I can hear you very well. This is amazing. I love that. Thank you so much, mate. And thanks a lot for being here. And I'm also waiting for you to share your thoughts and what you think about what I'll be talking about, because it's very interesting. People do not tend to understand how language works. Yeah, they don't tend to understand how it works, and it's very interesting for us to sit down and have a conversation about the whole situation. It's very interesting, and I think so many people will like it as well, to interact and talk about how a language has changed throughout the time, and how did we, do you understand, acquire this language? How did we comprehend it? How did we understand it since childhood? Do you understand? It's very, very interesting. And it's a very important topic. We've got, some of us have got babies, and we're going to have babies. We're going to have little kids as well, and we need to teach them how to learn language properly. Do you understand? Especially if you want them to become bilingual, or to have more than 3 languages, more than 4 languages. This is very important. This is very interesting. But apart from that, let me first of all talk about the first thing, which is language acquisition. Let's talk about language. All right. Now, what is language? If you want to talk about language, what is it? What is language? To me, yeah, and to people who are interested in language and who find language interesting, they might say that language is a way to communicate with others. Right? Language is a way to communicate with others. Language is a way to express yourself, right? As a human being that belongs to a society. We all need to understand something quite important, is that language didn't come from nowhere, right? People agreed upon certain words, and they said that, all right, we're using this word for this particular object, and we're calling this a door, we're calling that a window, and we're calling this a computer, we're calling this, I understand, a wallet, we're calling this a phone, whatever. So people have actually agreed, right, to call certain things by certain names. And we need to know this as well before we talk about language. If you teach your little baby, to call the door, to call it something else, let's say to call the door window, right? Let's say you tell your kid, call the door window, right? Your kid will call the door window. Do you understand? That's what will happen to him, because that's what he has acquired since childhood, since he was a baby. That's what he has learned since childhood. To talk about language acquisition, we need to also go back to the fact that language is something that we hear once we are in our mother's bellies. Do you understand? When a woman is pregnant, and by the way, that's a very, very hard thing to go through, pregnancy. When a woman is pregnant, she has this little baby inside of her belly, right? And once that happens, that baby is hearing sounds, right? Now be careful and pay attention. That baby hearing sounds that other people around that pregnant lady is speaking and saying, and to understand the conversation that are saying. They hear sounds, but he does not understand. He does not listen. He just hears. And there is a huge difference between listening and hearing as well. When you listen to something, you kind of pay attention. You're conscious of what's going on. But when you hear it, you don't know what the guy is talking about. So you don't quite understand what is it about. So listening and hearing, very different, two different terms, just like looking and seeing as well. Do you understand? We can talk about these terms later on when we talk about secrets of English language, because this is quite important. These are the secrets of English language. If you want to attract the attention to this language, and you want your students to focus and with you, and to actually think that what you're teaching is very interesting, you need to teach them the secrets. And this was a topic introduced to me by my friend Max from Russia. He's a very interesting person, a very good human being as well. He has introduced this topic to me, and he has told me to tell him how to attract the attention of the students when it comes to language. I'm going to do that in the next topic. So let's talk about babies, right? And let's talk about babies before they are born. Babies before they're born, what happens to them is that they hear sounds that the surroundings are making, right? Sounds that we make as we encounter that pregnant lady. Something very important. Now, you might think that little baby inside that belly is not hearing us, but he is. That is why we've got a lot of babies nowadays, when they are 4 years old or when they are 5 years old, they kind of come up with these sentences or come up with these abnormal words or statements that they can make, right? Or superpowers. Some of them, for example, I've seen this little baby and little kid who's maybe 2 years old, 3 years old, yeah, and he can read the Quran, the book of the Muslims. Do you understand? It's something very interesting, something quite interesting, to be honest. He has heard everything about Quran and the Quran when he was in his mom's belly, and that's what the mother said as well in the interview. She said that I used to listen to Quran when I was pregnant with my baby. So this is very interesting, and that's how we acquire language first, right? So the first step is to listen to language when we are in our mother's bellies. We cannot do that now, because it will be very, very strange for me to say this. But if you have a baby, if you have a baby on the way, if you are on the family way, if your wife is eating for two, if your mom is eating for two, and you want to help that little baby, grow up to learn more than one language, to understand, what you need to do is make that little baby hear, not listen, hear, because he will not be able to hear, to listen, he'll be able to hear only. So make that little baby hear languages and different languages as well. That is number one. Number two, let's talk about people who are already born. Right? Let's talk about ourselves. What if we want to learn a new language? What if we want to be part of this journey of learning different languages? That is very interesting, and I find it very, very interesting, because Not everyone understand what's going on in the world right now, and that's because of their communication skills. That is because of their communication skills. And if you ask some people, why don't you travel, why don't you go and visit the world, they would say, oh, I'm sorry, I cannot do that because I cannot really communicate. So there is this clash of communication. Do you understand? I'm not even going to dig into clash of cultures and talk about that because that's something even deeper, right? But what I'm trying to refer to at the moment is the clash of communication. And that's very important. You might be talking to someone, asking him, for example, where is the hospital, and you feel very sick, you are very ill in England, and you're telling him where is the hospital, but in a very, very weird way, he does not understand your language. He might not tell you where is the hospital. Do you understand? So you might end up dead or even more sick. Do you understand? If that doesn't happen. So there will be a clash of communication most of the times when you travel and do not understand the language of the other side of or the other part of the sea or whatever. So babies, after they are born, they start listening, right? Rather than hearing, they start listening as well, and they start to learn about languages. Something very important and something amazing as well. So after the babies are born, what you notice is that they can look at you, when you're talking. They can look at you when you're talking, and when babies do that, it's because they are trying to decode and decipher what you're trying to say. They're trying to decode and decipher what you're trying to say. Something quite important if you ask me, because who gave them the ability to do that at this young age? Something very, very amazing. Now, what we need to do in that period of time, if we've got little brothers, little sisters, if we've got babies, if other people have got babies and they've asked us the question, how can we teach our babies a new language? We need to tell them to speak to those babies using that language that you want them to learn. You want your babies to learn Arabic? Talk to them in Arabic. You want your babies to learn French? Talk to them in French. But you're thinking, maybe ask me the question, what if I talk to them in Arabic but they don't understand me? What if I talk to them in French but they don't understand what I'm saying? What are you talking about? Of course they will not be able to comprehend anything coming out from my mouth. That is the thing. That's what I want you to understand. You need to know that our brains, right, are divided into a conscious and a subconscious mind, right? We've got a very powerful brain, right? Pay attention to this. We've got a very powerful brain, a brain that has a subconscious side and a conscious side. The conscious side now is looking at me, right? You are looking at me, you are listening to my words, you are focused on what I'm saying, talking to those 6 people watching me right now. They're looking at me, they're watching me out, they're listening to me as well to understand. Now, that is your conscious mind working. Your subconscious mind, is looking at what's around you. Maybe your phone, who's texting you, maybe who has just walked in the room or walked out of the room. Do you understand? The fact that the colors of the wall are red or yellow, or who really paints his wall red? What am I talking about? But let's say the colors of the wall are white or yellow, whatever. Do you understand? So you are subconscious of that, but you are conscious of what's going on in my mouth. Do you understand? You're conscious of what's going on in my mouth. If I tell you tomorrow what t-shirt, what color was I wearing, do you understand, when I was using my puppet in the live, you would say you were wearing a white t-shirt. Do you understand? You would say that. You would say you were wearing a white t-shirt, even though you're not really conscious of the fact that I'm wearing a white t-shirt, but it is in your subconscious mind. You will go back, your brain will go back to that information, and bring it from the subconscious side and put it forward. Do you understand? And put it forward. That is very, very interesting, and it's amazing how our brains can do that. That's why we've got a very powerful brain, though no one really knows how it works. No one really understands how does our brain work. So it's quite interesting and very, very important. Now, how can we use this to our advantage? How can we use this conscious or subconscious mind? Yeah, how can we use it to actually learn a language? That's the question that we need to ask ourselves. How can we use it to actually learn a language? If you want to learn a language, it's very simple and very easy. There are a couple of things that you need to focus on. One of those things is that you need to understand the fact that you don't need to use a dictionary when you read a new word every single time, right? This might sound a little bit weird for you. You might know, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't need to use a dictionary. I'll tell you. You don't need to use a dictionary because you don't want to feel bored while reading. Do you understand? You don't want to feel bored while learning, because the dictionary might make you feel, oh my God, I'm just reading this and I'm trying to find out what does it mean, what's its definition through the dictionary every single time. And especially if you're a beginner, if you're just started learning the language, it will be very, very hard for you to use a dictionary every single minute. I'll explain this to you. How will I learn not using the dictionary? Very simple and very easy. If you want to learn without using the dictionary, what you have to do is use the novels or the books, yeah, that are appropriate to you. Don't go and read, right? A book written by Salman Rushdie, right, who speaks about what's going on in the world right now, a very weird novel, a very weird story, right? And then expect yourself to understand it, to understand every single word written on that page, on that paper. Of course not. You'll be using the dictionary more than the actual book or the actual novel, right? So that's a little bit crazy. You don't want to find yourself in that situation where you're going to read a book using the dictionary, right? Or read a poem using the dictionary. There are very simple and easy poems out there. There are very simple and easy novels out there that you can start with. And my advice is start with a short story, right? My advice is start with a short story that is no longer than 10 pages, right? No longer than 20 pages. No longer than that. 20 pages is the maximum. That's what I advise you to do. That is very, very important. So try to do that. That will help you a lot. But because you will not use any dictionary while you do that. Why? Because the words are very simple. Even if you don't understand the word, you don't need to use a dictionary, because the next word explains it. I'll tell you how that works. There is something in English that we call the context. Yeah. So when you use the context clues, something that we call context clues. Yeah. Use the context clues to understand the words that you do not comprehend while reading, right? I'll give an example. I give this example to all of my students, so I'll give you this example one more time. The sentence that I always give my students is, I'm feeling very splunchy, I want to eat. What about that? I'm feeling very splunchy, I want to eat. What does the word splunchy mean? What does it mean? The word splunchy. If I ask you this question, yeah, and if there is someone watching me right now and can give me the answer, I know that the answer is going to be hungry. I'm feeling very splunchy, I want to eat. Splunchy here means hungry. Even though splunchy is not really a word, I just made it up. Do you understand? I made up the word splunchy. It does not exist. But how did you know the word splunchy, which is a very difficult word that I just made up, means hungry? How did you know that? How did you reach that level of awareness, yeah, and learn this word without even using the dictionary? Because you subconsciously, listen to me carefully, not consciously, you subconsciously used context clues. Yeah? This person is talking about food, right? This person is talking about eating. So basically, it's going to be hunger. Splunchy means hungry. Do you understand? He cannot be fed up. This person cannot be feeling okay. He needs to be hungry, right? That's why he wants to eat. Do you understand? So This is a very good example. If you understand it, this is a very, very good example. And also there are plenty of other examples that you can learn from. There are plenty of other examples. I can give you those examples if you want to, and those examples are going to help you understand how to use our subconscious mind if you want to learn a new language. Can be English, can be anything else. The example that I'm giving here, that I'm giving you here, is basically about English language. Now, if I may talk about subconscious mind more, I also want to mention something quite important, which is about not only learning languages, but using our brains by remembering, right, everything that we've done back in the day. Something that you notice when you talk to some people is that they can remember everything from their past, right? It's crazy. They can remember every single thing that they've seen in their past, that they've learned in the past. They can learn it. They can remember it. It's crazy. If you talk to them about yesterday, they'll tell you what happened yesterday, what happened before yesterday, what happened before that, because they've got a very strong subconscious mind, right? If you ask me, what did I eat yesterday? I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know what I've eaten yesterday. Do you understand? I will be very, very, I'll be just confused and think, oh my God, what have I eaten yesterday? That's a very good question, right? I will not remember what I ate yesterday. So to use your subconscious mind, you need to be familiar with how it functions and how it works. And to use it to learn a new language is very easy and very simple. You've got one skill that you need to focus on, which is listening. Listen and read. Reading is going to be part of the skill as well. However, you need to listen, right? So if you listen to native speakers all the time, you're listening to native speakers the whole time, you are learning new words. And those words are not just going to your subconscious mind, right? But they are also going through your conscious mind if you know them. If you do not know those words, you don't need to use a dictionary. You don't need to look them up if you don't want to. They will go to your subconscious mind, right? You're telling me, are you saying if I haven't studied or learned Chinese, I can actually listen to Chinese language for a week and then I'll be able to speak Chinese after a certain period of time? My answer is yes, you can actually do that. Do you understand? You can actually do that. If you want to learn a language, you need to listen. Use your subconscious mind. Everything that you hear, everything that you listen to goes to your subconscious mind, whether you like it or not, right? Very important and very amazing as well. Now, you might be asking yourself a question and saying, oh, I do that all the time. I listen to music. I listen to music all the time. And I've had this conversation with a couple of friends that I recently met on this website, one website that we've been talking in, and we had this conversation about listening to music, right? And I've actually told them they were surprised, and it was weird of me to say you shouldn't listen to music if you want to learn English. If you want to learn a new language, you shouldn't listen to music. Now, even those people who are watching me now are thinking, what do you mean? Are you telling me that I shouldn't be speaking? I shouldn't be listening to music if I want to learn English? Because a lot of English learners out there, they have learned English through music. Through music. Don't ever forget that, right? But there is there is an outcome that is not very, very positive that comes after that, right? Which is the difference between formality and informality. If you learn English through music, you will never be able to sit in an interview, right, and speak in a formal way. You will always find yourself using informal statements and informal sentences, like what you're doing. Do you understand? What you're doing now? Do you understand? You'll be talking to your friends in this way, which is very, very bad. It is not very good, right? If you want to learn a language, you're going to learn that language for one purpose, for so many purposes. Obviously, you want to travel, you want to see other people, you want to communicate with other people. You don't want to have clash of communication when you talk to others, whatever. You've got plenty of other reasons that, right, pushes you to speak or learn another language. That's obvious. I'm not talking about that. However, let's focus on the fact that if you want to learn another language, right? If you want to learn another language, you need to be able, right, to learn about formality, right? You need to learn about formality. You cannot just be informal every single time. And musicians, when they, or rappers or whatever, when they write their songs, they kind of they are very, very subjective. First of all, they are very subjective. They don't talk about objective topics. They are very, very subjective. And what they do as well is that they use informal language, right? They use informal language, unfortunately. And that informal language is not going to help you out. That informal language is not going to help you out. That is the problem. So what you need to focus on if you want to learn more about formality is formal TV shows, for example, formal movies, for example, formal documentaries, because not everyone watches those documentaries or those series or those TV shows. Right? Now, if you talk about movies, for example, movies are scripted for everyone else, for the general public. Right? Movies are scripted for the general public, not just for intellectuals, for academics. And obviously, if you're going to learn a language, you will use it for an interview, right? And you will use it when you meet new people. You will never talk informally with a new person that you've just met, right? You cannot just meet a person outside, you don't even know him, yeah? And then you come up to them and say, what you doing? Yo, what's up? Whatever, yeah? You talk in a very informal way. You can't do that. That person will think you're crazy. Do you understand? You're out of your mind. It doesn't work that way. Do you get what I mean? You will just surprise him. You will surprise that person. He'll just tell you, what is going on with you, mate? Why are you talking to me in that way? Fam, just disappear. Do you get what I mean? It will be very, very weird situation for you, trust me. So if you want to find yourself in a position where you can be formal with people and you can talk to anyone and you can have a job interview and you can talk in an academic way, in a formal way. Well, I don't want to say academic way in that way. Do you get what I mean? When I say academic, you guys, maybe some of you would think, oh my God, what are you talking about academic? I would never reach that level to speak in an academic way. Obviously, a beginner wouldn't be able to do or to understand academic language even. However, I'm talking about formality. Do you understand? To talk in a respectful way to others, to be formal to others, use formal words with others. That is not going to happen if you learn language through music. Never. If you learn language through music, that is not going to happen. Do you understand? So remember that. That is not going to happen. So that's why you need to focus on the fact that you need to be able to not only listen to formal TV shows and documentaries, but also there is a trick that I teach my students, and I've also spoken about this the other day with my friend when I was talking to them on that website as well. I told them, if you want to learn a new language and you're a beginner, and you want to acquire that language, you want to fix your subconscious mind and focus on learning new languages, start with animation movies. What are animation movies? You can see me. So can you see me now? This is me, right? I'm using animation. I'm using an animation character in order to talk to you, right? So, and this animation character looks exactly like me, by the way. So this is how I look like if you've seen my videos before on YouTube. However, if you're new, this is me. Check out my other videos as well. So apart from that, these animation movies, right? They are long movies, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, whatever. And I know you've seen them and you've watched them all. And there are also not animated movies like Sonic, for example. There's a new movie that was released. It's Sonic. Now in Sonic, these movies, they are for families and they are for little kids, right? And you've been thinking, oh, that's why he's asking us to watch those animated movies, because the scripts in those animated movies are for families and for little kids. That is why the language is going to be very easy, very simple, and accessible. You don't need a dictionary to understand what's going on in an animated movies or in animation. Do you understand? You will never need a dictionary to understand that. So it will be very, very simple and very easy for you to understand it. So that's my advice for everyone out there. If you want to learn if you want to learn a new language, all right, that's what you have to do. You have to focus on animated movies. You have to focus on documentaries and shows that use formal language. You're thinking now when you're saying, sir, I will not be able to understand everything from those shows, from those movies, from those documentaries. I will not be able to understand everything that they say, right? I understand that and I get that. You will not be able to understand everything. But guess what? As I said before, everything will go to your subconscious mind. Everything will go to your subconscious mind, right? So be careful and pay attention to that, right? Everything will go to your subconscious mind. One day, right, everything will get back to you, right? Your conscious mind will bring those words to you and you will use them whether you like it or not. Without you noticing, your subconscious mind is already full of different words, not even words that do not belong to your culture or to your language. Do you understand? Very, very important. Subconscious mind is very powerful and it's very, very, it's crazy. It's crazy. And if you use it properly, you can learn anything and everything all over the world, all around you. Do you understand? You can learn everything and anything as well. So it's very, very important. And I advise you to learn how to use your subconscious mind and how to help others use the subconscious mind as well, right? And to help others use their subconscious mind as well. AGX just came into the live. Hello, AGX. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for coming in and for watching. How? I think you're asking the question about using the subconscious mind. You are saying how, yeah? That is important. That's very good. Thank you so much for asking that question. Now, if you want to learn about how to use the subconscious mind, yeah, this is a very good question. If you want to know how to use the subconscious mind, you need to be able to separate your consciousness, right, from your subconsciousness. To do that, you need to be able to separate your objective mind from your subjective mind, your objectivity from your subjectivity, right? So most of us are subjective creatures. We are subjective human beings. We look at things from a subjective perspectives all the time. We never look at things from an objective perspective, hopefully. So when you're able to look at things objectively, you will be able to focus on your subconscious mind, right? I will try to give you a very simple example. I'll try to give you a very, very simple example. If you look at your room that you're in right now, you are living in a room, basically, or in a house, a big house or a big room. In that room, imagine that the whole room is your subconsciousness. Your whole room is your subconsciousness. And the little bed in the middle of the room, or the little chair in the middle of the room, that is your subconscious mind. That is your conscious mind, sorry. So your subconscious mind is the whole room, and your conscious mind is the chair or the bed. The conscious mind is very small. The subconscious mind is huge, is big, is enormous. I'll give you an example. How are people all over the world using the subconscious mind to, let's say, hypnotize us, to make us do things, to make us focus on things? I'll teach you this. I'll tell you this. This is very good as well. If you want to learn about this, I'll tell you. Check this out and focus on this. I might drive out of the topic for 1 or 2 minutes, but this will maybe help you understand how very smart people are using the subconscious mind. Look at movies nowadays, right? Look at movies nowadays. What do you notice when you watch movies nowadays? You notice something quite important. You notice that good versus evil is no more the same like it used to be. Do you remember good versus evil back in the day? Back in the day, the bad guy always loses, right? The bad guy always loses when he's talking to the new guy. The bad guy always loses every single time. The bad guy loses. However, nowadays, we don't see that anymore. I'll give you examples of movies, for example. So, what is it called? Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. What do they do in Suicide Squad? They go to these dangerous people that are in prison for life. Why? Because they killed a lot of people before, right? They killed a lot of people. They did a lot of bad things. What do they ask them to do? Save the word. They ask bad guys, bad people to save the word. So they're telling us, right? People that are watching, they're telling us that bad people are the only people that can save the word, right? I think Will Smith played the role of one character, and others as well played different characters as well. And bad people, very bad people, they've done very, very bad things. They were in prison for life. Do you get what I mean? How do we expect those people to help us? But they went to them, the government went to them, and they helped us. Everyone else has failed. So what do they do here? Our subconscious mind will think that bad is good. That bad is actually good. That there is no difference between bad and good. This is what they want us to believe in nowadays. I'll give you other examples as well. Look at Fortnite. Fortnite, for example. I'm sorry, Fortnite fans. But I'll give you this example. Go to Fortnite skins, right? What is the best skin on Fortnite? The best skin on Fortnite is the skin that has horns, like the devil. That has horns like the devil, that is black, that looks very bad. Do you understand? That is the best character on Fortnite, right? That's the character that people would look forward to, would want to buy, right? Is the character that is very bad, that looks bad, right? Look at movies nowadays. Who's the best guy? Who's the most famous guy in high school movies? Who is he? The bully. The bully, the guy that bullies others, the guy that is making fun of the teachers, right? That is the most famous guy in high school, right? The guy who does these bad things is the most famous guy. Do you understand what I mean? Exactly. That's the word I was avoiding to use, infra. Infra, that's the word I was avoiding. I didn't want to use that word. But you are right. You are right. Definitely. Do you understand? Definitely. So they go to these bad people. Fast and Furious is another example as well. Thank you so much. Now I know I'm talking to people who understand what I'm saying. But how did they change this? I don't want to sound political, but let's just move on to the United States, for example. If you ask any American out there, do you like Donald Trump? They will say, no, I don't like Donald Trump. But how did they vote for him if they don't like him? Do you get what I mean? This is crazy. How can you vote for someone that you do not like? Do you get what I mean? So it's because subconsciously speaking, their understanding of good and bad, good and evil has changed, right? And it's different. The Joker. Let's watch the Joker versus Batman. Ask anyone. You find on profile pictures of the Joker, people, they love the Joker. They love the Joker. They would die for the Joker. If you ask them who's your favorite character, they would say the Joker is my favorite character. The Joker is a bad guy. Do you get what I mean? The Joker is a bad guy. He's not really a good guy. But why do you think this happens to us? They want to do this, and they're doing this, to understand, through movies, through music, through everything else, to work on our subconscious mind. Do you understand? To work on our subconscious mind. This is what's happening and this is what's going on, right? So AGX, you asked me a very important question. How can I use my subconscious mind to fix my language, to learn, to understand everything and what's going on in the world? Actually, to do that, you need to be able to put everything in its place. Good is good, evil is evil. Do you understand? You cannot mix both. For example, I'll give you another example, bro. I'll give you another example. AGX, Infra, everyone who's watching me. Just look above and see how many people are watching this live. How many people are watching this live? 9? 10? Do you understand? If I was some sort of, do you get what I mean, making fun of myself and talking about something random and, do you understand what I mean, doing something bad, right? Not really good, doing something bad, like making fun of myself, like turning out naked, whatever. How many people would be watching me right now? Thousands? Millions? Do you get what I mean? So, do you get what I mean? This is what we have become. This is what we have become. We have become people that do not differentiate between bad and evil, good and evil. We've become people that go to bad people and ask them to do the right thing for them. Do you get what I mean? Instead of doing it ourselves, right? So exactly, and this, yeah, I agree with you, Infra. Infra says, if you are a bad person, they wouldn't adore you. Totally, bro. Totally, I totally agree with you. They wouldn't like you if you're a very good person. And let me just talk about this, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. What about girls nowadays, yeah, or women nowadays, and girls nowadays? If you are a bad person, they would actually like to listen to you. Do you understand what I mean? If you are very bad in school, if you are, do you understand, always talking back to the teachers, and you will look like cool. Do you get what I mean? Like you are the cool student, right? And that's why they would actually hang out with you and be with you. Do you understand what I mean? But if you are that nerd, right, that smart student, you are very bad. And why do they show us those smart students, yeah, in movies, like they are nerds, wearing glasses, like my glasses, for example, do you understand? Wearing glasses, and they call them nerds, right? They are very smart, but they call them nerds. Why? Because they are not cool. They are not cool. That's why they call them nerds. Do you understand? Look at what's going on in the world right now. And that's what they're doing that to change our subconscious mind, right? AGX, for example, I'm listening to you right now. Will my mind, subconscious mind, sort it inside, or something like that? Yeah, exactly. Everything that I'm saying right now will go directly to your subconscious mind. Do you understand? Whether you like it or not, by the way, if you're listening to me, everything will go to your subconscious mind. You're thinking, no, I'm just watching this. I'm not really going to get affected by it. Do you get what I mean? I'm watching this video clip. It's not going to affect me subconsciously. Or I'm watching this movie, but it's not going to affect me subconsciously. You are wrong. Your brain is very powerful. Anything that you hear, anything that you see affects you subconsciously. Your brain is very powerful. I will say this one more time. Anything that you hear, anything that you see will affect you subconsciously, whether you like it or not. Do you get what I mean? And it will shape your personality, it will shape you, and it will shape who you are as a person, as an individual, as a human being. Right? I'll tell you this. Remember when we were young and we used to watch movies? For example, I remember when I was young, I used to watch Jean-Claude Van Damme, yeah? Jean-Claude Van Damme, if that's his name. Jean-Claude Van Damme. I used to watch it, right? And then when I finish the movie and I go out, I start looking at people like I'm going to fight them. Do you get what I mean? It's like I'm going to fight everyone out there. So I walk outside and I'm like, do you understand? I'm like very angry, and do you get what I mean? I've got Jean-Claude attitude. Do you get what I mean? I've got Van Damme's attitude. I'm ready to beat everyone outside. Do you get what I mean? So why? Because it has affected me subconsciously. Right? It has affected me subconsciously. Music, the same way with music. If you listen to music and you listen to it, and it's a very sad song or a very sad tone, you will actually feel very, very sad afterwards. Why? Because it has affected your subconscious mind. Do you understand, AGX? So it is very, very important topic. No one actually speaks about this anymore nowadays. Right? So how do I use all of this to my advantage? You need to use it to your advantage by fixing your subconscious mind, putting everything in the right place. Do you understand? Putting everything in the right place. And what is the definition of nerd or nerdy? Yeah, nerd is a person who Nerd is basically a person who, this is what we know, yeah, when we watch movies. A nerd is someone who studies a lot, very smart. He reads a lot of books. Do you understand? He has the best reports in school. He's very academic. Do you understand? He's very smart. He talks in a very fast way to people. Do you get what I mean? So a nerd basically is everything that we should be doing. We should be reading books. A nerd needs books. Read books. We should be in the library, and a nerd goes to the library all the time. This is what a nerd is. A nerd is someone who is attached to education, attached to academia, attached to studying. Do you understand? He respects the teacher. This is a nerd. Do you get what I mean? So, and a nerd is someone who tries to focus on something, tries to build a computer, tries to do this, to do that. Do you get what I mean? So, but a nerd is not cool. This is what they tell us. Do you get me? So it's very interesting. But he's not cool in movies. Yeah, exactly. A nerd is not cool in movies. He's a very, very bad person. They laugh at the other nerd. They make fun of the nerd, unfortunately. So it's very interesting. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Hello. So yeah, it's very interesting, and it's amazing, to be honest, how our subconscious mind works. Right? It's amazing how it works. And it's my advice actually to everyone to focus on your subconscious mind and try to make it, try to fix it, do you understand? And put everything in its place, right? Everything in its place. Don't mix things, guys. Don't mix things. And there is something also that comes, something that is not good comes out of subconscious mind and conscious mind. One of those things is that we do not know the right definitions of things. I'll give you an example. If I say, what is marriage? I will find that you will give me different definitions to the word marriage. Do you understand? You guys will give me different definitions to the word marriage. You will not give me one definition. You will give me different definitions, unfortunately. Do you understand? So it's why? Because we do not have one definition of the word. Let's say, what is the definition of bad, good, evil, identity? We cannot give one definition to these things. Why? Because our subconscious mind is different. We've been watching different movies, different video clips, different things through the media, through Facebook, do you understand? That is why not everyone likes TV. Do you understand? Not every academic or intellectual likes to watch TV, because they know that everything they watch will go to the subconscious mind at the end of the day. Do you understand? So regardless of how smart you are, your subconscious mind is being affected, right? Is being affected and is being introduced to new ideas, to new opinions, and you will grow up to accept them. You will grow up to accept that bad is good. Do you understand? You will grow up to accept that bad is good, and good is not cool. Good is very nerdy, is very bad. Do you understand? But bad is actually the cool Venom, the new movie Venom. Do you understand? Venom is a new movie that is also introducing this idea of bad is actually good and good is actually very bad. Do you understand? Let me talk to you about, oh my God. Now I remember this movie that I watched, yeah? I watched this movie actually when it was first released. So AGX says how to deal with that. How to deal with it is to, now that you understand it, this is amazing. You see now, AGX, now that you understand what's happening and what's going on, you've got an idea of how the subconscious mind is working and how the conscious mind is working. Now you are on the right track. You will not be fooled by anything else, do you understand? Or by anything that you will hear or listen to, right? You will not, no one will fool you now in movies, whatever, because you've already got an idea. I'll give you another example about Aladdin movie. Oh my God. Aladdin movie is the worst movie in the history of movies. I'll tell you why. Because it doesn't only teach you and tell you and make you believe that you can be anything that you want, even if you don't have the skills. I'll give you an example. Oh my God, Deadpool. Oh wow, Andy Belver, you're a very smart person. You are a very smart person. That is correct. That is very, very smart. Deadpool is maybe one of the one of the best movies that can show you that bad is good and good is bad. Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much for mentioning Deadpool. I'll go back to Deadpool in a minute. Let me talk about Aladdin. In Aladdin, they show you this lady, this woman. I forgot her name. The woman that plays the protagonist, the hero of the movie. So the good girl, the one that is in the castle, and she wants to become the queen. She wants to become the president of the whole country. She wants to become the queen. What happens is that when you watch the movie, you will realize that she has never been outside the kingdom, right? Jasmine, thank you. Yes, Jasmine. Max, thanks a lot, Max, and welcome, Max. So Jasmine, she has never seen outside the kingdom. Do you get what I mean? She has never seen outside the kingdom. She has never been out. That's what she tells Aladdin. She tells him, I've never been outside the kingdom. And Aladdin is the one who took her to see certain places in the kingdom and to see people. Do you understand? He has taken her to see people, right? So she has no idea what's going on in the kingdom. However, she wants to become the queen of the country. She wants to take control. Do you get what I mean? If this is not the stupidest idea ever, then what is? Then what is? Let's forget about that. No, let's talk about Ja'far. Ja'far is the bad guy, yeah? Ja'far is the bad guy. He's the one that wants to be the king and be in charge of the kingdom, right? However, he's a bad guy. They show us that Ja'far is a bad guy. To me, when I was watching the movie, to me, Ja'far is the hero. Ja'far is the good guy. I'll tell you why Ja'far is the good guy to me. I'll tell you why. First of all, Ja'far knows everything about the kingdom. Yeah? Ja'far knows everything about the kingdom. Ja'far cares a lot about the kingdom because he wants to become the king, right? To avoid having war with other kingdoms and with other states. And Ja'far has a very good relationship with other states and other kingdoms in the movie. Do you understand? Ja'far is very serious. Do you understand? Ja'far is very serious and he's ready to do anything for the kingdom. That is why he knows everything about it. Do you understand? Regardless of him being a bad person, yeah? But to me, he is suitable for the job of becoming the king. Do you get what I mean? Because he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, right? And he even asked Jasmine to marry one king, just not to have war with them. Do you understand what I mean? So he suggested something which is very smart. I'm not going to say she should be forced to marry anyone. No, I'm not going to say that. She marries whoever she wants to marry. Yeah, this is. We can't disagree on this one. She can marry anyone she wants and she can refuse anyone she wants. However, he has introduced the idea to save the kingdom. So this makes him a very smart person, right? Very smart, very brave because he did everything and he knows everything. He's a know-all when it comes to the kingdom. So who do you think is more suitable to become the king? Of course it's Ja'far. It is not her. Do you understand? Jasmine, she knows nothing about the kingdom. She's very emotional indeed. She's very emotional. Do you understand? She's started singing. Do you get me? Who wants a king to be singing to them? Do you get me? I want you to give me a job, not to sing me a song. Do you get what I mean? Do you understand? So it's very weird. It's very weird how this movie turned out to be, right? It's a very woke movie, right? So it's written from a feminist perspective. I don't want to dig into that and talk about feminism, right? So let's not talk about that now. But I'm just telling you, if you're watching that movie, subconsciously speaking, you will feel that they're trying to mess with your brain. Do you get what I mean? They're trying to mess with your brain. Besides, Jasmine's father always sleeps and exactly. He's fat. He's very fat, very good infra. He's very fat and he eats a lot and he just, do you understand what I mean? And he only relies on Ja'far. He only relies on Ja'far. He tells him, Ja'far, what should we do? Ja'far, what should we say? Ja'far, do you get what I mean? It's good to do that, but that means that Ja'far is actually suitable for the job, not Jasmine. Jasmine is always listening to her maid, the one that pushes her to fall in love. Do you get what I mean? Very emotional, do you understand? I mean, someone who runs away with a stranger, right, wants to become the queen of the country. How? Wow, what an example, do you understand, of a good queen. What an example of someone who runs away with a stranger, who is a thief, by the way, right? Who steals things from people, which doesn't make him cool. It doesn't make him a good person. It makes him a very bad person. Do you understand what I mean? There's no difference between him and Ja'far, actually. So, as you can see, it is very interesting and very, very crazy. Hello, Lamine, how are you, mate? You good? So it's very, very crazy how they try to mess with our subconsciousness. Do you understand, AGX? Do you understand? They try to mess with our subconsciousness. Do you understand what I mean? It's very, very, it's crazy. It's crazy to a different level. That is why we need to be careful as individuals, and we need to use our subconscious mind to do the good things, right? One of those good things is that we need to focus on, for example, learning a new language, learning a new skill. There are so many skills that we can learn through the subconscious mind, right? So that's it. And it's amazing, and it's very, very good. I'll give you another example how powerful is the subconscious mind. Freud is a philosopher. And he studied psychology, and is the one who came up as well with the subconscious mind concept. So Freud is one of the scholars that actually he performed what is it called, hypnosis. So he used to hypnotize people. Yeah, he used to, let me see what AGX said. Somehow you're playing with my mind right now, but I can say in a good way the truth. Yeah, well, everything that I'm saying goes to your subconscious mind, and everything that I'm saying is with evidence. Do you get what I mean, IGX? Everything that I'm saying is with evidence. I'm not lying to you. I'm not trying to sound cool, right? I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about what's going on in the world. Do you get what I mean? And it is the truth. If you look around you, that is what's happening. That is what's happening, right? That is what's happening nowadays. Nowadays, the cool person is the one that does the bad things. The Joker. They're not the Batman. Batman is not cool anymore. The Joker is the cool one. Deadpool is the cool one, right? Not the other characters. The other characters are very, very bad. Do you get what I mean? So it's very, very interesting to look at this, to be honest, from different perspectives. So we need to use a subconscious mind. I forgot what I was talking about, but we need to use our subconscious mind to learn good things. Yeah, I was going to mention Freud. Freud, when he used to hypnotize people, right? So for example, there is this person who's 30 years old or 36 years old, 37 years old. He comes to Freud and he says, I am a very angry man. Do you understand? I get very angry easily, right? Easily, I get very angry. What should I do? So Freud tells him, lie down, and he hypnotizes him. Freud hypnotizes him. What Freud does is that he gets that person who's hypnotized to go back to the subconscious mind. And that person subconsciously starts talking to Freud and telling him that when I was young, for example, my dad used to beat me, my mother used to beat me, my father used to do this to me, my mother used to do this to me. So then he brings him back to this conscious mind and he tells him, wake up, and this is what's happened to you. This is why you are an angry person, because when you were young, you've been treated badly. When you were young, you were bullied, blah, 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 blah. Do you get what I mean? So by going back to his subconscious mind, he can actually figure out what's going on with him nowadays. So you, AGX, and everyone else, Infra, Andy, Max, everyone else here, you are, the person that your surrounding has made. You are the person that your surrounding has contributed to make. Your subconscious mind, was triggered and full of so many things that made you who you are today. So the one who's talking to me and typing today is the one, do you understand, that has got so many things from their subconscious mind, from everything that was around them. Andy says, well, what should we do to be more aware? To be aware of what's going on around you, you need to know that nothing is made for entertainment. All right, Andy, if you think that they are making those movies for you to go and feel entertained, you are wrong, bro. You are wrong, sis or bro. You are wrong, Andy. No. No one makes those movies for you to feel entertained. No one. Do you understand? No one wants you to feel entertained and go to the cinema and, oh my God, I will read this novel and this novel is for my own entertainment, blah, blah, blah. No one, right? Those movies are not made for your own entertainment. I promise you, right? Every movie out there, every song out there, every book that you read is made to teach you something, to make you think of something, believe of something, right? Don't be a naive reader or a naive viewer, someone who watches movies to entertain himself. Oh my God, I'm going to entertain. No, you're wrong. Everything that you're watching will go to your subconscious mind. And since everything that I'm watching will go to my subconscious mind, then trust me, I'm not going to watch it in a naive way, from a naive perspective. I'm going to take care of it and I'm going to be aware of what I'm watching. Do you understand? Very, very important. Look at cartoons nowadays. Go look at cartoons. Your little brother, look at what your little brother is watching, right? Your little brother is watching the stupidest cartoons out there. Trust me. Come on, SpongeBob, really? Doing all the weird stuff, right? All the weird stuff? SpongeBob, really? Watch SpongeBob, guys, and see the jokes in SpongeBob and the stupidity in it. The stupidity in SpongeBob and what it makes you feel like when you're a baby. Do you understand? They don't teach you something to be smart, but to become even stupid more than you are. Do you understand? So to be less aware of what's going on. This is the agenda. This is what's going on in the world. Don't be blinded by everything that you see and everything that you hear, Andy. No one is here to entertain you. Do you understand? No one is here to entertain you in movies. Mention any movie you want in the comment now, and if I watched that movie, I will tell you what is wrong with the movie. Any movie. Mention any movie down here if you want. I will tell you what's wrong with the movie. I'll tell you something quite important, Andy. Andy, I'll tell you this if you're still watching. Back in the day, the United States, they have made a series of movies where black people were heroes in those movies, right? They have made a series of movies where black people were the heroes. They were the policemen who saved the world. Why? Because there was a lot of racism in the United States back in the day. So what they did, those movie creators, they have put the black person or the black people as the heroes. And it worked. Americans, while they watched those movies, they started to accept black people into their society, right? I'll give you another example. Black singers in the United States. I'll give you another example. Black writers like Toni Morrison and so on, right? I'll give you even another example. Do you remember the Powerful Four? The Powerful Four. This is a series for kids, Powerful Four. One guy is American. The other guy is Chinese. The other one is black, and I forgot where is the other one from. Do you understand? Chinese, black, American, and the other one I forgot where is it from. And they all work, and they are four powerful. They click on something, they change their clothes, and they go fight the bad guys. Do you understand? They go fight the bad guys. I don't know if you've seen that before. I forgot its name, right? I forgot its name. So why did they do that in the United States back in the day? Right? In the 20th century, these are the sort of movies that we used to watch. Blade is one of those movies. The vampire, the one who used to understand his black character, but he saves the world. Do you get what I mean? From vampires. And guess who is the vampire? A white person. Do you get what I mean? A white person is the vampire. So people, when they watch this in the United States and all over the world, they subconsciously accept black people into their societies. Right? Subconsciously, you will accept black people into your society. And this is a positive thing. This is a very, very positive thing. This is not negative at all. This is very positive. Do you understand? This is amazing. This is amazing. And I hope they can do more of these things so that we accept, do you understand? We accept ourselves as individuals and we become one. Do you understand? And we don't look at each other's colors or ethnicities or where we come from or wherever. Now the whole world is one country and we all belong to one society. Do you understand? Which is the internet, if I may say. Do you get what I mean? Basically, you can use the subconscious mind to do very good things. right? And some writers and some movie producers, they actually done it in a very good way sometimes. But most of the time is not really done, do you understand, to entertain us, but it is done to make us believe in something, right, Andy? To make us see something from a different perspective, right, Andy? So remember this, Andy. This is very important, right? So what should we do to be more aware is that we should put everything, you should know this. We should know that nothing is there for entertainment. Do you understand? Nothing is there to entertain you. When you go and watch a movie tonight, you need to watch that movie or that series with a mindset that says nothing in this movie is for my own entertainment, but everything is here to go in my subconscious mind and teach me a way of life or inspire me or influence me to do something. Do you understand what I mean? When you finish that movie, you will be influenced and inspired at the same time. You will be inspired to help others do good things, or you will be influenced and persuaded to do other things. They can be bad things, do you understand? Maybe it will persuade you to become a bad person. Maybe it will persuade you to do very, very bad things. Do you understand? So be careful. And that's why in the 18th and in the 19th century, we had a lot of serial killers. A lot of serial killers. And in that period of time, we had a lot of movies that broadcast and they show serial killers. Do you understand? And people, when they watch those movies, they kind of learned from that and they got persuaded and influenced. Do you understand? This happened a lot in the United States, right? So I'm giving you real life examples. Real life examples. And I told you can mention anything in any movie or any novel down here and I tell you why it was written in the first place. Do you understand why it was written in the first place? So Infra said, sorry, I might get you out of the subject, but is happiness, yeah, aren't true, and they are show us on TV. Yeah, those that they show us on TV. Thanks a lot for mentioning this, Infra. I love your questions. You are always on point. Look, when you watch those movies, you will notice that the guy who's doing it, who's trying to hypnotize the other, tries to scream, do you understand, in a period of time. It's like he shocks them. Now, you need to know something. You can hypnotize anyone in that state. There is this state, right? There is this state between the normal state and the shock state. That state is called the empty state, right? The empty state. In that empty state, if you can, right, get someone to reach that empty state, you can hypnotize them. So the person needs to be stressed. It needs to be, do you understand, oh my God, what is it going to do to me? So you will access his subconscious mind without him knowing. Do you understand? This is very important topic. This is an amazing topic, Infra. This is a great question that you've asked me, right? If you watch those videos, you will notice that the hypnotizer, right, says something or touch the person somewhere, right? He might touch the persons in their shoulders here, right here in their shoulders, and then looks at them and shakes them, do you understand? And then they are hypnotized. They are in the subconscious mind. And in subconscious mind, he tells them few words, right? And then he brings them back to the conscious mind, right? And then when he says those words again, they will go back to the subconscious state. Do you understand? So yes, it is real. Do you understand? It is real. It is not made up. It is not made up, and it's real, and we've seen it. And Freud actually was stopped to do this. Freud have stopped him. Do you understand? Hypnotizing others, because so many people died in that process of hypnotizing others. Freud, when he has done it, he didn't know everything about it. He was just experimenting on people. Do you get what I mean? So he didn't really know everything about it. So when he has done it, so many people died and they couldn't go back to the conscious mind. They stayed in the subconscious mind. And when you stay a long period of time in your subconscious mind, you will lose it. Because your subconscious mind is very big. It's a huge word. It's a huge place. And if you go to that place, you will become crazy. So that's why you need to be controlled when you are in the subconscious mind. You need to be controlled by someone who knows what he's doing. Do you understand what I mean? Our brain is very powerful, guys. Our brain is very, very powerful, guys. Be careful. Be careful what you hear, what you listen to, what you watch, what you see out there. Do you get what I mean? And you need to use that to your advantage. To use it to your advantage, one of those advantages is learning a new language, for example. Do you get what I mean? Learning a new language. Talking about a subconscious mind and a conscious mind is very exciting. It's a very interesting topic. I like to talk about it because it actually gets you to places that no one has heard about. Trust me. If you can control your subconscious mind, you can control so many things around you. Andy, I almost asked you how to do that, and you said people died on the... Yeah, people died on the process. Yes, Freud, you can search for this as well, Andy. People actually... Freud, when he used to hypnotize others, right, he didn't understand what he was doing. He was actually surprised of the fact that people are, answering him and giving him questions. And Freud used to tell him, you are now 4 years old. And that person goes back when he was 5 years old and 4 years old, even though he's 30 years old. Do you understand? He goes back to that state, mate. He goes back to that state and he says, oh, I am 4 years old. My mom is beating me. My mom is doing this to me. My daddy left us, blah, blah, blah. So then Freud understands, that's why this guy now is actually facing these problems when he's old, because when he was young, he had all of these issues when he was, do you understand what I mean, at this certain age. So this is what's going on. He was bullied maybe at school. That's why now he grew up to become a bully, or to become angry, or to become... Do you understand what I mean? So it always goes back to your subconscious mind. All your beliefs, everything that you see around you is related to your subconscious mind. Trust me. Whoever you are as a person, right? If you're smart, if you are angry, if you're an angry person, if you're a very calm person, it's all about your subconscious mind and how you grew up to be. Do you understand? What you've seen when you were young, the people around you, what they've done to you, what you've heard them say, the movies that you watched. Do you understand? If you watch a lot of horror movies, a lot of blood, you will not feel pity for people who die every single day. Do you get what I mean? Andy, AGX, right? Let's say you watch horror movies and blood every single time. You will not feel pity when they say, oh, someone died in the war. It will be fine for you. So what? People die every single day. Because your subconscious mind now has got used to blood and people dying. Do you understand? Even though it's not real, but it is in your subconscious mind, right? That fear of dying, that fear of other people dying around you, it will not exist anymore. Do you get what I mean? It will not exist anymore. That is very, very interesting. So to go back to your subconscious mind by the help of someone will actually is very, very difficult. Right? But you as an individual, if you want to have full control of your subconscious mind, there is this state that you will, it's called the flow state. I'll teach you something very important today. It's called flow state, right? We've driven out of the topic, but I'm very sorry. Flow state, you see, sometimes flow state is something that is reached by football players, musicians sometimes, athletes. You remember the goal that was scored by Cristiano Ronaldo? The goal where he jumped very, very high. I don't watch football, but I watched that goal, right? The goal where he jumped very, very high, right? Extremely high, and he scored the goal, right? Cristiano Ronaldo, he has done that. One of the best players in the world, right? We call that goal a fantastic goal because Cristiano Ronaldo has reached a flow state in that period of time. What is flow state? I will tell you what is a flow state. A flow state is a state that you reach when you get close to your subconscious mind, right? In that state, you will basically forget that you are in the moment. You will forget that you are in that specific place, talking to those specific people, right? The flow state is the perfection. The flow state is the state that you reach and you become perfect at whatever you're doing. Do you understand? Sometimes you reach that flow state, you are a football player or an athlete, and you can run like hundreds of meters, do you understand? Hundreds in seconds, because you've reached that flow state, the full capacity, right? Physically and mentally. Right? So the flow state is amazing. The flow state is something that can be reached by any of us. Do you understand? Any of us. I don't know if some of you have reached this state before, but In that state, you will feel that you are floating in the air. You're not in earth anymore. You will not focus on the people around you. You will not focus on what you're saying, right? But everything that you say will be perfect, will be amazing, right? Will be very, very good. Do you understand? People will hear it and will be amazed. Or everything that you do will be amazing. That is called the flow state, right? There is this Chinese guy back in the day who has held a cannon, a whole cannon, right? There is a story. I forgot his name, to be honest. One of my students has made a whole presentation about this guy and about the flow states. One of my students, his name is Nabil. He's a very good student, and shout out to Nabil out there. He's a great student, and I love him so much. Nabil actually made this presentation about this guy who has lifted a very heavy cannon in the time of war. And he saved the whole country. And then they told him afterwards, lift it again. He couldn't lift it. 3 people couldn't lift it. 10 people to lift the cannon. 10 of them. And he was alone when he lifted the cannon. Do you understand? Crazy. So he reached that flow state. How do you reach that flow state? You need to get closer to your subconscious mind. When you know how to control your subconscious mind, you will have, I don't want to say superpowers, but you will have superpowers. Do you understand? You will have superpowers, whether you like it or not. You will be able to access anything around you, and you'll be able, okay, Infra says, sometimes fear can, yeah, very good. Nice. Very good, Infra. That is amazing. That is true. That is correct. Fear can push you to that state as well. When you are so scared, so stressed and fear can push you to the flow state. All right? It's like a zone. If you watch, true, 100%. So you reach that zone and that flow state, and it is true in movies and in animes and in so many other animation movies. They bring these real psychological states that human beings face and feel, but they don't teach us how do we control these. Do you understand? Superpowers. These are superpowers that our brain can actually do and access. Do you understand? We as human beings, we can access this zone, right? Sometimes you're talking to people and you're answering all of their questions at once. You're like a superhuman. Do you get what I mean? You feel like, oh my God, I'm very smart. I'm good at this. Do you get what I mean? Or you're playing football and you can beat everyone. You are doing something and you are the best at it. Do you get what I mean? So that's the flow state. You've reached the flow state. And you don't reach the flow state for a long period of time. It's just a zone that you get in and then you get out afterwards. Do you get what I mean? So, but you will always remember it. You will always remember it. And yes, fear and stress, Infra, thank you so much. Fear and stress will push you to that zone, will push you to that state, basically. It's amazing. It's very, very good. And I'm actually very happy that I'm talking to people that appreciate this, the brain power, to understand and appreciate the subconscious mind and want to learn and to know how it works and how to use it for our own benefits as human beings and as individuals in society, how to help our brothers, our sisters, to understand people around us, to use the subconscious mind to do the best around them and to do the best every single day, and not to do bad things but to do good things with it. Do you understand? There was this scientist back in the day in the United States. I forgot his name. I wasn't prepared to talk about this topic, but since you've asked me about this topic, I'll talk about this scientist in the United States who was killed, by the way, assassinated. He has created a way, he has discovered a way, on how to control people subconsciously. So what he did, I will look for his name and mention it later on. I will put his name in the description after this video is uploaded. I will do it. I will mention his name in the description. He's American, a very smart scientist. So what happened is he told the American government that I can make anyone do anything. They told him, how can you do that? He told them I can make people kill themselves if I wanted to. I can tell people to kill themselves and I can do it. So they asked him to do that in front of them, and he told them, I need you to take me to a prison for those people who are facing lifetime or death rows, people who are going to get killed by the government because they've killed others or they've done very, very bad crimes, whatever. So they said, okay, we will do that, no problem, and let me experiment on those people. So what he did is he went to this person, right? So those people are watching behind the glass. They're watching behind the glass, and he's talking to that person, and he's told him that there is a contract. You are here in prison. You are going to face death row. You're going to die anyway, but I'll give you a contract and I'll make a deal with you. There is a cup of water. There are 2 cups of water. One of them has poison in it and the other one does not have poison in it. I will not tell you which is which, but what you have to do is sign the contract, and if you drink the one with the poison, you will die. If you drink the one without the poison, you will walk from here free man. Obviously, the guy who's facing the death row will have nothing to lose. So he said, okay. And when he said that, he took one of the glasses and he drank from the glass. Once he did that, the scientist told him, I'm very sorry to tell you that you've drank from the glass that has the poison, right? You've drank from the glass that has the poison. Now you will feel dizzy. You will start sweating. Your heartbeats will start racing. You will lose your hearing. He started telling it, because he's a scientist, he's a psychologist, he knows everything about the states. So we started telling him and talking to him about everything that he is supposed to be feeling right now. And the other individual who drank the glass of water started feeling everything that the scientist was telling him, right? Because he said a lot of things and he described everything, he started feeling it, right? And then he died. The prisoner died. And then actually he died and no poison was on both glasses. There was no poison on the glasses of water. Do you understand? There were no poison on the glasses of water. They were very, very surprised with doing that on the prisoners. Maybe he was doing it as well to them, but this is the one that I've researched, and I forgot the name of this scientist. Actually, he was assassinated in the United States back in the day because of this specific research. Because he said that I want to use this research to bring peace to the world, to help people, to understand, to control people's subconscious mind to do the good things, not the bad things. But then they've taken the research and they've changed it to something different. So, apart from that, what happened later on, and welcome season to the live chat, a really nice story. Thanks a lot. It's real, by the way. It's a real story, and this happened actually. He did also other experiments with others. Do you understand what I mean? He did other experiments as well. It is crazy. So your subconscious mind can actually be controlled by anything around you. There was this guy on the news. He was pushed to commit suicide by his girlfriend. He lives in the United States. His girlfriend lives in the United States as well. And she actually texted him a couple of messages, and she persuaded him, she influenced him to commit suicide. And guess what? He committed suicide. And in the day of committing suicide, he has texted her. And she was telling him, text messages, go ahead and commit suicide. And how do I know this? Because this is on YouTube as well. This is on Google. You can make research about this and you will see that the police and the government, they have investigated and they have found out that his girlfriend actually persuaded him through the messages. They had access to the messages and they had access to their accounts, and they could see that she was persuading him and telling him, go commit suicide. This is a good day, blah, blah, blah. So she was the one pushing him to commit suicide. She could reach his subconscious mind. And you might be thinking, why would she do this? This is a very bad person. She has done it for one thing and one thing only. And maybe you will be laughing when I say this. She has done it to look cool in school. Because in that period of time, her girlfriends in the school were not really feeling pity for her. But she wanted something to feel special in the school, to feel famous in the school. Do you understand? And what wouldn't make you famous if it's not your boyfriend dead or committing suicide? The next week in the school, she was very famous because everyone was going to her telling her, oh my God, we are sorry that your girlfriend, your boyfriend committed suicide. So she wanted attention, right? To become the cool student. She did something very, very bad. Do you get what I mean? She subconsciously influenced him to do that. I forgot her name, by the way. She definitely got famous after that exactly season. She got famous after that, definitely in a bad way, and both bad ways. She is in prison right now, and she went to prison. And I've read this story, and I've made research about the story as well. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's not amazing in a good way, but it's amazing how what people can do when they can access your subconscious mind, where they can control your subconscious mind. They can make you do very good things. They can make you learn languages, multiple languages, 5, 6 to 10 languages if they want you. Do you understand? And they can make you do very bad things if they want you to as well. We hear of people bombing themselves and killing themselves. Do you understand? ISIS, whatever, in Syria and Libya, all over the world, right? People bombing themselves just to go to paradise. Do you get what I mean? And you're there sitting down and thinking, come on, man. Really? Really? You bomb yourself and go to paradise? I mean, how stupid is that? You might be thinking that is very stupid, but actually people have done it. People have done it, and it happened, and it is crazy, but because they've been hypnotized, they've been brainwashed, they've been, they understand, subconsciously spoken to and influenced and persuaded to do that. Do you get what I mean? They were persuaded to do that. These are, I'll just teach you a very simple skill. A very simple skill, Andy. A very simple skill that you can do to persuade others to do something for you. And you're already doing these skills, by the way. Let's say you want money from your parents. You want money from your friends, right? You would never go to that friend or that parent and tell them, hey, give me money. Right now, give me money, hey. You would never do that. You would never tell them, I want money, give it to me. No. You would go and say, oh, you look very nice today. You look very, very good today. Oh, mom, can I help you? Can I help you with the dishes? Can I do this for you? Oh, please, mom, let me do this. Let me do that. Oh, mom. Oh, dad, that jacket looks very good on you, right? You look very, very handsome today. Oh, my God. And then you can persuade them to do anything they want. You can tell them, oh, my God, you look very good. Blah, blah. Would you please give me $10, $20? Do you understand? 20 pounds, I really need it. Your father would be very, very, I mean, of course, there are special cases where your father would say, come on, man, really? You just gave me a compliment to get some money out of me? Your father might say that, correct. But those are minorities. But the majority of the parents or the friends, they would say, oh, yeah. It's okay, here we go, take the 20 pounds. Or they would do what you want just because you gave them compliments. Do you understand what I mean? So persuading others and making people believe in things is not very hard. Take, for example, ads on television. Ads and publicity. Do you understand? Ads that we see on YouTube, on television. You need to know that we buy a lot of things based on those ads. Hair products, skin products, shampoos, hair products, obviously, shampoos, water, phones, for example, iPhones, Samsungs, all of these devices that we buy them because of the ads that we watch. Do you get what I mean? We are influenced by the ads that we watch. And basically, they influence us not consciously, but subconsciously. They go to our subconscious mind and then influence us. Look at the Apple Watch, for example. One of the most expensive things ever. But you go and buy it. The iPhone's very expensive, right? But people buy them. People buy them, and believe you me when I tell you, they don't use everything in that iPhone. They only speak and talk. They use Facebook, they use Messenger, they use Instagram, and then they talk to people. Hello, how are you? You good? Yeah, I'm good. Whatever, where you at? That's it. They share their location. They don't use the phone, do you understand, at its best quality. They don't use everything that the phone offers, right? But they buy the phone regardless of how expensive it is, just to own the iPhone. Do you get what I mean? And it is very, very hilarious, to be honest, how they can get to our subconscious mind and make us do things without us knowing. Do you get what I mean? It's very, very interesting. And social engineering, yes, very good, Infra, that is correct. You can name it as well, social engineering. You use it to get to people's subconscious mind and make them do whatever you want to do, and create societies based on your agenda. Do you understand? Based on your calendar, based on your schedule. Do you understand? That's amazing. That's very good. Social engineering, the art of human hacking. True, 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 true. Very true. That is amazing. Very, very good, Infra. The human hacking. You try to hack into humans' brains and humans' attitudes and behavior, and you change them. You can change them. You can make them do everything that you want them to do. It's very easy and very simple. And something else as well that we need to focus on, and I want to mention, is that if you want to understand, to learn anything, use your subconscious mind, right? Let's say I want to learn how to play football. I need to watch a lot of football videos, right? I need to learn a lot of football players. I need to watch a lot of football players. I need to watch a lot of football tricks. Even if I don't know how to do them, I need to watch them a lot. Do you understand? If I want to be skillful in, let's say, I don't know, something else like running, I need to do the same thing. Season says, where can I buy that book? I really need interesting stuff to read. Infra. Yeah. The book named Social Engineering, The Art of Human Hacking. I think it's available on the internet. Not quite sure. But I think you can find it. Yeah, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it online. It's a very interesting book as well. It basically speaks about how to persuade and influence others, and how to get people to understand what you wanted them to do. It's very interesting. Through ads, through words, through sentences, through statements, to understand, anything and everything can actually play a very important role here, right? And you can do that to people around you, and to people who are not around you as well. But you need to do it in a good for the good ways. Do you understand? For the good things, not for the bad things, because it's very, very bad to control people and make them do bad things, right? So apart from that, it's a very interesting topic, actually, talking about what is it called? Talking about subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and how to control them, and how to be able to use them for our advantage, to understand our benefits as well, and to benefit from our subconscious mind, to benefit from things that we see, things that we hear, right? It's very, very important, and it's very interesting as well. And my advice throughout this video is that we need to use these important strategies to learn languages, right? So this is my advice. And Infra says most of the governments do social engineering on their people. Obviously, yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Infra, you are right. True, through movies, through music, through, to understand, the speeches, through everything else that you see basically on TV, on that little box that you have at home, the TV that is called TV. You basically you get controlled, and you get influenced, and you get hypnotized, and you get brainwashed, and you get controlled, and you get, to understand, your subconscious mind learns a lot of things that will later on push them forward to the conscious mind, and you start doing them without you knowing it. You start believing in things you've never believed in. You start accepting things you've never accepted before, and you start saying things you've never said before. Do you understand? And we change every single minute. We change every single second. We change every single day. And if we are influenced by everything that is happening around us, and everything that we hear, see, and encounter, obviously we will be influenced, and we will learn to understand those things, and we will use them in our conversations with people, or when we encounter them. Do you understand? You will be influenced when you see someone dress in a certain way. You might want to dress the same way, even if it goes against your culture, even if it goes against your religion, even if it goes against the way you have done things before. Do you understand? So basically, it is a very important process to get into your subconscious mind, and make you do things. That is something that is happening all over the world, and so many people do that. So I totally agree with you, Infra. Very good information that you gave us there about the book, and it's important to tell people all of this. People need to be aware of what's going on around them, of what's going on in the world. Do you understand? People need to be aware, and this awareness is not going to create itself. We are here to create it. We are here to not only accept the change that is happening, but also to be the change and try to change things around by using our subconscious mind. So use your subconscious mind if you want to learn a new language, right? Use the subconscious mind if you want to learn a new language or any new skill if you want to, because that's what language acquisition is all about, and that's how babies acquire the languages and comprehend and understand language as they grow old and as they grow up. You understand? It is very interesting, and it's amazing as well. People actually do not only listen to other people talk and learn from them, but they get influenced by them as well. So you get influenced by music, and a lot of crimes happened in the United States just by listening to music, like music of Tupac Amaru Shakur, Biggie Smalls, you understand, talking about how they hate the police, how they would kill the police, you understand, how they would kill others and hate others, West Side and the West Side and the East Side, you understand, and the war between both. It was very, very interesting, and it was crazy how people perceived both sides, and they were listening to that music, and they actually, a lot of crimes happened. And by the way, Tupac Amaru Shakur was assassinated, and Biggie Smalls was assassinated as well, and obviously by people that were listening to their music. Do you understand? It is very, very important topic. It's a very crazy topic, but for now, let's just learn that we need to use our subconscious mind for the good side of it. We need to use our subconscious mind to be more aware of what's going on in the planet, what's going on in the world, what's going on around us, to help others achieve the flow state, or that zone that we were talking about, and try to achieve it ourselves as well. And also, we need to focus on the fact that we need to learn more, right, skills, more languages by using our subconscious mind. And that's how language is acquired, and that's how language is learned, by using the subconscious mind. If you want to be a better English speaker or a better speaker of English, you need to focus on your subconscious mind. You need to listen to so many native speakers, to so many people speaking in English, so that you can learn a lot of new words. You can learn a lot of new statements and sentences and idioms and expressions. You understand, a lot of vocabulary that you might not be using every single day, but it will go to your subconscious mind, and you will be able to use it at one point because it's already there in your subconscious mind. Do you understand? Do not ever forget that everything that you learn, everything that you hear, everything that you see, regardless of what it is, good or bad, will stay stored in your subconscious mind. That is the storage of everything that happens along the way, along your life, along the journey that you take. Do you understand? That you're taking as well. So it's very, very important, and that's why I've given an example about listening to music as a way of learning English, and I said that is very bad, and it's not a very good thing to do, because if you want to learn a new language, you shouldn't listen to music to learn that language, because music is written informally. And if you're going to learn to understand informal language, informal English, for example, informal French, you will not be able to use it in job interviews. You will not be able to use it with your boss later on at work. You will not be able to use it in a formal way. You will just use it in an informal way, which will not help you in any way. Do you understand? You will only brag about you knowing the language, but you will not really understand the concept of the language. That is very important as well. So be careful, and do not learn languages from music. Do not learn languages specifically from random movies. Learn languages from animated movies, as I said before. That will help you a lot, and that's how you acquire a new language. That's how you learn a new language, all right? And do not use books or novels. Just try to use short stories, because that will help you a lot. Season says, what do you say about the fact that at year 20 there is a virus, for example? So much for the advice. Be right back. All right, thanks a lot, AGX. We are here All right. Season says, what do you think about the fact that every century of the year there is a new virus, right? Every century there is a new virus. Like in 18th century and the 70s, she's talking about the Black Death and about the other viruses that appeared all over the world. 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, and 21st century. To be honest, season, wow, I'm very, I'm just, I'm aware that this whole live video is going to take a very weird drive. Do you understand? It's like we're jumping from one thing to another, which is fine with me. To be honest, I'm really happy to interact. But which is why I'm going to give you an answer to your question, my friend Season. So my thought on that one is that if we talk about what is happening in the world right now, the new virus that is going on and what is going on in the world right now, I don't know, you've been hearing a lot of conspiracy theories, like a lot of conspiracy theories about this virus being false and not correct, and it's actually, do you understand, people are trying to fraud us and it didn't happen, and it's do you get what I mean, and the government created it, and do you get what I mean? I mean, we've heard a lot of things about all of these theories, right? And they are theories because they cannot be proven, just like gravity is a theory as well that cannot be proven. But apart from that, if you ask me personally speaking, even though I'm not being subjective, I'm being objective, I'm talking about things from an objective perspective. I didn't say my opinions yet, but on this case, I might say it can be a coincidence that every century a new virus, to understand, is introduced or it's out there. But I'll tell you what, every single year there are viruses out there, every single year, not really every single century. But if you put it that way, I might say every single century a very serious virus that the doctors cannot really find the solution to, do you understand, or find the cure to, is out there and is threatening people's lives. So that's maybe what you're referring to, that a virus that is threatening humanity, right? In the 18th century, in the 19th century, and the 20th century, and the 21st century, there is always a virus that is threatening people's lives. And it's not really a pandemic every single year, but this time it was a pandemic, and the Black Death, it was a pandemic as well. So there are viruses that we can control, but they're not pandemics. But this one is very difficult and is a very dangerous one. But if you want to think of it as a conspiracy or a virus that was created to kill people, right, or to bring governments down, or to, do you understand, to drive us away from something serious that is happening, to make us look at something, right, which is the virus, focus on the virus while something else is happening elsewhere, right? This is also one of the things that they might do to control our brains and our subconscious mind. However, when it comes to this virus in specific, I mean, look at what's happening in the world. Every single country has actually suffered from this virus, right? Has suffered from this virus, so lost a lot of money and wasted a lot of money as well. So I don't think, I'll give you an example, right? Season, I'll give you an example. If you were a president of a country, right? If you were president of a country, and you have, let's say, you have everything that you want. You have different bank accounts all over the world. You have a lot of money. You have so many houses. You have the power. You have the politics. You have the government. You have everything that you wanted, and you have a jacuzzi at home. You have, do you understand? You have a very good car. You have so many cars. You have a very big house. You don't pay for petrol. You don't pay for, do you understand, anything else. You don't pay for food. You don't have kitchen at home. You eat outside. Do you get what I mean? You are very, very famous, and you have everything. Would you, as a president of that country, or as a king or a queen, would you create something that would take all of that away from you? Would you do that? Would you do that? Would you create something that would take all of that away from you? Right? You would never do that. It would be stupid of you to create something, right? Or to be part of something, or not even be part of it, right? To be part of something that would take all of that away from you. No way. No way. You would be very stupid if that's your aim. Do you get what I mean? That you will be very stupid if that's your aim, that's your goal, is to create something that would take everything that you have, right? All the luxuries that you have, everything that you have, all the good things that you have, go away from you. Come on. You can't be that stupid. Yeah, exactly. Definitely no. So who do you think made this, right? Every century, who do you think created this? Obviously, it is not, right? It wasn't created. It wasn't something that was created on purpose. This is what I believe in, because personally speaking, I don't like to be personal. I don't like it to be subjective. I hate to speak from a subjective perspective, Season, but I'll just speak from a subjective perspective now, and I'll say I don't think anyone out there would want to corrupt themselves or corrupt whatever they have, right? No way. No way. What do you mean? Okay, let's say yes. Yes. Someone did it. Someone did it. A president did it. Someone did it. Yeah? Someone did it. But it's happening all over the world. You will never be able to travel to those countries. You will quarantine yourself. You will stay in one house. You will not go out. You will not enjoy life as you used to enjoy it before. So what are the benefits of you creating this virus? Do you get what I mean? There are no benefits, and you're not very stupid to create it, right? If you are stupid, if you are very smart to create a virus, I mean, come on, you can't be very stupid to create a virus that's going to keep you at home and everyone else, right? So come on, let's look at it from this perspective. If you want to say it was a coincidence, right? It was an experiment done somewhere and maybe it got out of hand and the virus appeared, maybe I might agree with you and say, okay, no problem, right? We're changing the topic, obviously. But if you want to say someone created it and someone, come on, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. I don't think it's the case, because no one is that stupid, right, to put themselves in that situation where they lose everything: the jacuzzi, the traveling, the money, right, the economy, come on. You can't have everything and then you lose it just in one day and one night by creating something that would harm you and harm your government and harm your people and make you look bad as well. No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. So every single century, a new virus is out there. I might say every single day, new viruses out there. If you look at it from a scientific perspective, every single day there are new viruses, every single week, every single month, right? But we hear about these viruses every single century because these viruses are new, right? And there are no solutions to these viruses, right? There are no solutions to them. But it's fine. I mean, the world is changing. The nature changes every single day, every single time, because of global warming and everything that is happening. Do you understand? And new creatures, viruses are creatures, and new creatures are emerging and developing. And do you understand? We human beings, we grow up every single day. So, of course, viruses, they develop every single day as well. Do you understand? And as they become something else tomorrow, and they will become something else the next day, right? And that's it. And they will be immune to our medications, and then we need to create more medications in order for those viruses not to be immune to our medications, and so on and so on and so forth. Do you get what I mean? So the whole world, the whole planet, right? The whole planet, like this planet right here, the whole planet all over the world is changing, right? Every single day. The forest is changing. The weather is changing every single day. Right? I don't want, if you believe in global warming or not, there are a lot of conspiracies about it as well. I don't want to jump into a different topic and talk about the conspiracy of global warming. I don't want to do that. But the topic is not talking about conspiracies. It's about language acquisition. But because it's very fun, to interact with you guys is amazing. So I'm just telling you that Season... this is what I think. This is my idea of how these viruses appear and these sicknesses and illnesses appear. Do you get what I mean? They appear haphazardly. They appear randomly, and just like they do every single week and every single month. We just don't get affected by them. Now, as you're talking to me, as you're typing, as you're watching this, your subconscious, your body is affected by so many viruses, but your immune system is actually fighting them. Do you understand? If you ask me and tell me, should we react to the virus the way we are reacting? I would say no, right? I would say no. We shouldn't react to the virus the way we are reacting, right? We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't put it out there in the media and try to, do you understand, make people feel afraid and scared. Because when you're scared and afraid, your immune system is very weak. Do you get what I mean? It's not at its strength. It's very weak, right? Right? Subconsciously speaking, if I tell you that this is, oh my God, you need to feel scared, don't do that, I will make you feel, right, scared. And when you're scared and stressed, when you are at the weakest, you are very weak. Your immune system is very weak. You can get sick easily. Do you get what I mean? When I want to make you feel scared. So if you tell me, are they advertising in a good way for the virus? I would say no, they're not advertising in a good way. They are not helping anybody. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, some channels, some videos, some people are helping, some doctors aren't helping. Do you get what I mean? But most of them are not really helping. The immune system of the human body can actually fight anything out there. Do you get what I mean? And if you use the subconscious mind properly, you can fight cancer if you want to. You can find any sickness out there if you want to. Do you understand? Season, it's really, I need to learn adults about their views. It's really, yeah, Season. No worries, Season. I'm here to answer you. I don't really mind. Let's see what Andy says. A human body is so strong to face these viruses. 100%. I agree with you, Andy. You're right. Andy is right. Andy says that our body, our human body, can actually fight any virus. And by any virus, I'll tell you why. The argument is very simple. The creator, right, God or the creator, whoever created this universe, whoever created this world, whoever created us, yeah, did not create us just randomly and just to live in a world and die because of a random virus. Do you get what I mean? But he created our human body with the best mechanism, right, to fight the body, to fight the virus, or any other virus. And the immune system can actually fight any virus out there. But if you subconsciously tell yourself that you cannot fight it, you will never fight it. If you subconsciously tell yourself that you are sick, you are sick. You will get sick. If you subconsciously tell yourself that you are weak, and you will become weak. Do you understand? Be careful how you use your subconscious mind. It's very important. If you keep telling yourself that you are stupid, you will not say anything smart. Do you get what I mean? So be careful what you feed your subconscious mind. I will say it one more time. Be careful what you feed your subconscious mind, because anything that you feed it and anything that you put in there, now that you store in that subconscious mind, is going to help you throughout your journey in life, right? Throughout your journey in life. So it's very interesting actually to talk about this, to talk about language acquisition in general, and to talk about this specific topic as well. I'm actually very, very happy that I interacted with you guys. I'm very happy. I'm blessed, I'm blessed to have you on my channel. I've had 10 people watching me. One of the best moments in my life, to talk to you, to interact with you as well. Next time I will try not to. Oh, thank you so much, Season. Thank you so much. Next time, I will try not to use the puppet. I will use my actual self. Yeah, and the puppet looks exactly like me, to be honest. So this is how I look like. So I will use my actual face, myself. Yeah, not the puppet, to interact with you in a better way. I just wanted to try it out. I wanted to see people's reaction, and I try to. I always try. I like to try different things as well. So. I will use this and something else. So I will go back and make another live videos in the future. The live video next time is going to be about, I had a question, how is it following you motion? I had a question, how is it following you motion? I didn't understand your question properly. I was talking and moving. Oh yeah. How is it following? Okay, the character. I'm actually. Oh yeah, I'll answer you. I'm actually using. I have made this character, and I'm actually using the Adobe character animator, and I'm talking to you, and I'm clicking. I have created those motions that you can see. For example, here I'm using the mouse to move its hand. Do you understand? For the hand to go here or there, and do you understand what I mean? So I am using these. I'm clicking on them, and I can click on them, and I created them. Do you understand, Andy? So thank you so much for asking that question. And the character is looking at me through the webcam, and when I move my head, the character moves as well. When I blink, the character blinks. When I talk, the character talks. When I move my eyebrows, as you can see, the character moves the eyebrows as well. Can you see that? That's amazing. That's awesome. So yes. So yeah, so I wanted to try this out to see how it looks like. People are more comfortable looking at animation sometimes rather than looking at a real person. I might make you feel scared, or I don't know, yeah? So I wanted to try this. And next time, hopefully, I will try my real self and I will talk to you as well and interact with you. I'm really, really blessed. You have no idea how happy I am and how blessed I am to have you on my comment section, yeah? Telling me and talking to me, interacting with me. That is something that I want to experience even more, right? And I want to thank you a lot, really, really thank you a lot, because to have you here, yeah, talking to me, and to have people on the comment section telling me what they think and what they believe in and asking me all these questions is very helpful to all of us as a community. It's helpful to all of us as a community. Trust me, as a community on YouTube, basically. I'll be waiting for you next live, but please start like at 10. Yeah, I'll do that. I tried to start at 10, but it didn't work at first. I'm very sorry. It didn't work at first. We'll try to do that. Thank you so much, really, Season. Thank you so much, Infras. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for AGX, and thank you also, Lamine. Thank you for everyone out there who actually came here. Hussein also, thanks a lot, mate, for being part of this. Thanks for those who are watching and didn't type anything on the comment section, maybe because they are they like to watch things out. They don't like to comment. It's fine with me. I don't mind. Just learning is the point and is the aim and is the goal as well. Next time I'll be talking about English language secrets, and I'll be talking about other secrets as well if you want to learn other languages. And the live can also talk about anything and everything. When I have you on my comment section, I know that you guys will drive me crazy by the different topics and different questions, and I love it. That's what makes it spontaneous. That's what makes it, do you understand, live. That's the live, when you're not prepared and you are bombarded with all of those questions. So thank you so much, guys. I want to thank you one more time. And this is basically going to be the end of my stream, of my live. I want to thank you. When is it? Like tomorrow or when? Yeah, I will put a video on YouTube telling you where it's going to be. So it's going to be on my story on YouTube. So on my story on YouTube, I will post a message, yeah, on my posts. You go to community, you'll find my posts there. I'll post something and I'll say when it's going to be, when is the next live going to be. It might be tomorrow, and it might be after tomorrow as well. It can be tomorrow. So I will let you know that. I will let you know. Don't worry about it. And hopefully we will have more people on the comment section interacting with us and sending us more messages, because the more messages we get, the more topics, the more ideas, questions, do you understand? It's amazing. And I loved it when you were bombarding me with those, especially when we were talking about movies and Deadpool goes, the Deadpool and Infra goes Deadpool and blah, blah, blah. That was amazing. I mean, I loved it because I wouldn't be able to remember everything, but with you guys, it's like we complete each other, do you understand? And we can do this together and learn together as well. We are all learners. We hope our questions won't drag you out of the subject. That was fine. I don't mind if you take me out of the topic, Infra. No worries, mate. Thank you a lot, guys, for being here. Thank you so much. So I'll just tell you, bye-bye, guys. You take care. See you next time. Peace.